Superstar seiyuu, narrator, apparel designer, author, actor, YouTuber, and former solo artist Yuki Kaji has shared in his book Yuki Kaji Dialogues and how is the seiyuu industry behind the scenes, lessons he learned, mistakes he made, how to get into voice acting, how much the voice acting industry has changed, as well as special talk-style interviews with fellow seiyuu about those changes. So in this episode, let's check what Yuki Kaji feels about the changes that seiyuu have experienced and what fans now expect of them. Let's kick off this episode of Seiyuu Lounge. Welcome to Seiyuu Lounge, I am your host Vanessa and today's topic is the drastic seiyuu industry changes according to seiyuu themselves, part 3. So one of the most interesting features I've created for Seiyuu Lounge is back as you and I go through all the changes that the voice acting industry in Japan has been going through. Instead of me researching the theme, it is much better to know what seiyuu themselves think about that theme. Part 1, which is to say episode 115, of this feature included the opinions of Megumi Ogata, and Part 2, episode 116, featured the opinions of Koichi Yamadera. Being veteran seiyuu that were part of the second wave of seiyuu artists and experienced pretty much all the changes that the industry went through, they deliver interesting insights about what is expected of seiyuu right now and how it compares to when they debuted back in the 80s. But what if we could get the opinion of a seiyuu that has been an active part of that change? That's why part 3 is here. So seiyuu, narrator, apparel designer, author, actor, YouTuber and former solo artist Yuki Kaji has shared in his book Yuki Kaji Dialogues and how the industry has changed, how the industry is behind the scenes, the lessons he learned, the mistakes he made, how he got into voice acting, how much the voice acting industry has changed, especially because of him, as well as talked about those changes with other seiyuu. So in this episode, let's check what Yuki Kaji feels about the changes that seiyuu have experienced and what fans now expect of seiyuu. Anime is not only for kids. It is now a multi-million-dollar industry. For decades, anime was considered something for kids and as such, it was really niche and barely made money. Becoming a voice actor wasn't necessarily an appealing job, as the money seiyuu would be paid was very little. In the past decade though, things changed drastically. While anime has been big in the West since the early noughties, it was only in the past decade that it turned from a niche thing into a multi-million-dollar industry that has some of the biggest companies in the world all crazy about, while children, teens, adults and elderly all have gotten into it. This sounds crazy, but it is the massive popularity of anime series such as Attack on Titan, Yuri on Ice, Banana Fish, Tokyo Ghoul and Demon Slayer that have shown that yes, anime is for everyone. Anime can tell stories of all kinds appealing to any or all demographics. Anime can tell stories that will move you, entertain you and root alongside the characters that you fall in love with. Anime started to be a big presence in pop culture events all over the world. What seemed to be something exclusive to Japan and even quite niche within Japan turned into a massively popular hobby or passion for many in Japan and overseas. And alongside the massive and quick rise to popularity of such anime series, those behind the microphone, the ones breathing life into the characters we know and love, started to be on the spotlight. Fans started to want to see what they looked like, how they normally sound like, what they are like on variety shows, if they have any talents beyond being a voice actor. And as such, many seiyuu turned into superstars. At the time of recording and writing the script for this episode, the three most popular male seiyuu worldwide are Natsuki Hanae, Yuki Kaji, and Takuya Eguchi. And all three have something in common. They have redefined what being a seiyuu really means. They have branched out. They made anime cool. They've excelled in everything else they are doing. With the popularity of anime rising, seiyuu becoming public figures and doing a wide variety of activities outside of those, and the appeal to the masses, even capturing the attention of international fans, voice acting basically became a top choice in the dream job rankings for elementary and middle school students in Japan. Defying conventions and expanding horizons. So there are over 1,500 seiyuu currently active in Japan. This sounds crazy, but it is true. Among them is Yuki Kaji. Now he's completely in a league of his own. As I previously mentioned, Kaji is currently one of the biggest stars among male seiyuu. He shot to fame with his performance as Eren in the massively popular anime series Attack on Titan. However, in the past decade, you can safely say that the voice acting industry, at least for male seiyuu, has changed a lot thanks to his want to do things that were, up until now, considered out of the box for seiyuu to do. Not only he is outstanding as a voice actor, but now a reference to many of the seiyuu currently joining the seiyuu industry, but he also has graced theater stages, participated in musicals and TV dramas, acted as himself in video games, has turned into a YouTuber with almost 500,000 subscribers, and also has his own apparel brand. This is crazy. Especially when you think that a couple of years ago, Kaji was just a seiyuu trying to make his big break, following the same path as all other seiyuu before him had trailed. Kaji was the seiyuu that showed that being a voice actor is just one out of the things they can do. They are incredibly talented and creative, and while voice acting is their main activity, their training in acting, singing, or even their background in such fields has made it that we have gotten seiyuu making amazing transitions to live acting, for example, Yuki Kaji, Kenjiro Tsuda and Mamoru Miyano. On the other hand, seiyuu such as Soma Saito, Yumu Uchida and yet again Mamoru Miyano have shown how they can turn into stars of their own as solo artists. Mamoru Miyano has redefined what being a pop star is, and Yumu Uchida is reinventing such a concept. All while Soma Saito has trailed a unique path and showed that more than performing music, seiyuu can also be successful and crafty singer-songwriters of their music, being in charge of all things from composition to lyrics, concepts and overall creative direction. Like all these seiyuu, many more have followed their steps, diving into creating their fashion and accessory brands, writing books, acting in TV dramas and musicals, being on variety shows on TV, and more. What Yuki Kaji did from 2010 up until 2020 was the catalyst for a series of changes in the voice acting industry that will forever be remembered. Yuki Kaji's journey is a testament to the boundless possibilities within the realm of voice acting. Now let's delve into the heart of the matter, Yuki Kaji's exclusive insights on the changes sweeping through the seiyuu industry. From this point on, most of what I will be talking about is in Kaji's book, Yuki Kaji, Dialogues M. Netflix and Disney are all over anime. The anime phenomenon has transcended borders, with series like Attack on Titan surpassing the astounding milestone of 100 million copies in circulation worldwide, both in physical and digital. But it's not just Attack on Titan. Demon Slayer has shattered box office records with basically earnings exceeding 40 billion yen, while Makoto Shinkai's creations such as Your Name and Weathering with You have captured the imagination of millions. Streaming giants like Netflix and Disney Plus have embraced Japanese anime, catapulting it onto the global stage. Anime has evolved from a niche interest to an entertainment powerhouse that resonates across generations. Shifting perceptions. Anime is for all ages. But what ignited this revolution in anime? Yuki Kaji points out a pivotal moment, one that reshaped how we view animation. Do you remember Neo Genesis Evangelion? Well, it was the anime series that shattered the notion that anime is solely for children. And what happened in 1995 ended up changing everything. This game-changing series paved the way for mature themes to be present in anime, captivating not just the young, but also adults. And what was the ripple effect? A demand for voice actors capable of delivering both the iconic, over-the-top performances we adore in shonen and fighting anime series like Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, Fairy Tail, as well as the nuanced, natural tones required for realism. For example, in Neon Genesis Evangelion, Terror in Resonance or Banana Fish. This convergence of styles has led to a seamless blend of talent, attracting fans from all walks of life, as well as bringing together voice actors and live-action actors to this medium. The social media fandom revolution. So, how has social media transformed the landscape? Well, enter the world of online communities and fan expression. Yuki Kaji highlights that Generation Z, raised on smartphones and social media, finds anime not just appealing, but fashionable. The rise of platforms like Facebook, Twitter, or as you now call it, X, and Instagram has created an avenue for fans to share their passions openly. This digital landscape has fostered a thriving community unafraid to declare their love for 2D characters. Anime is now a means of self-expression and connection. And fans want to connect with the voices behind their favorite characters. By having a presence on social media and sharing their work or even side projects, many seiyuu have seen their follower numbers rising and their relevance both in Japan and internationally growing a lot. Seiyuu stars in the spotlight. Now let's shine a spotlight on the stars themselves, voice actors who've risen from behind the mic to the forefront of the entertainment world. Yuki Kaji, alongside fellow seiyuu Hiroshi Mono, has captivated audiences on variety shows, showcasing the entertainment prowess honed through platforms like video media and internet radio. This modern age has given voice actors a platform to exhibit their multifaceted talents, transcending the boundaries of traditional roles. The voice actor renaissance. But there's more to this. Seiyuu are no longer confined to scripted lines, they're emerging as distinct personalities. Yuki Kaji's own journey from anime enthusiast to industry icon reflects this drastic change. Kaji himself began working as a voice actor because he wanted to do voice acting. He never imagined he would be invited to variety shows. Video media's transformation, including streaming services and internet TV channels, has opened up new avenues for a wide variety of shows. Today, voice actors engage with fans through platforms like internet radio, deepening their connection and showcasing their various talents. Nowadays, almost all anime works have accompanying radio programs for introduction and distribution. Thanks to these, voice actors have more opportunities to communicate their opinions about those works and share behind-the-scenes information that bridges the gap that their fans that want to know more about their work may have with them. Previously, voice acting was limited to delivering lines and singing lyrics with barely any connection between the voice actor and the listener. However, this change has led to voice actors being sought after for their personalities as well. These changes may be one of the reasons why voice actors are currently garnering attention as one form of entertainment. They are now becoming entertainers. Embracing unconventional journeys. And then there are the unexpected encounters that shape our passions. In the book, Yuki Kaji shares an enlightening story of a taxi driver drawn into the world of anime through Neon Genesis Evangelion. A senior taxi driver mentioned to him that he started watching Neo Genesis Evangelion after initially being drawn to it through pachinko. This encounter made Yuki Kaji realize that you never know what might spark someone's interest in a particular work. Different people, ages, passions, and experiences deeply influence how you come into contact with anime or even seiyuu. This story emphasizes the power of individual experiences and the importance of embracing change while honing your craft. Kaji's words resonate. Every experience matters, and a firm understanding of your craft is paramount. As we draw this episode to a close, we've unraveled the threads of the drastic changes within the seiyuu industry, and this time around we were guided by Yuki Kaji's experiences. The world of Japanese male seiyuu and 2D groups has undergone a unique evolution, captivating hearts and minds across the globe. And even if these changes are here to stay or not, do not forget that you need to support your favorite seiyuu because their work is no longer just one thing really well done. It is a variety of activities, all done in hopes people support them and they get popular enough to have the privilege of saying that they do voice acting for a living, not needing a part-time job to live. Now tell me, what do you think about the versatility that seiyuu now have? Do you think it is putting pressure on new talents, or is it an opportunity for them to explore other passions they have? Let me know in the comments on YouTube, and remember, leave your comments as complex or as simple as they may be, and you can be featured on upcoming episodes of Seiyuu Lounge. If you enjoyed this episode and don't want to miss the Handed Feeds HQ's weekly male seiyuu and music-related content, hit the subscribe button. And if you are listening to this episode on a podcast listening platform, please consider following the podcast and leaving a review. Leaving a review is really simple and helps other people find this podcast and fall in love with male seiyuu artists and 2D groups. I'll return next week with another episode of Seiyuu Lounge. Thank you for listening and see you guys around.